The living room was glowing that night, warm lights, soft music, the hum of laughter filling the air. I had spent the entire afternoon preparing for this dinner party, hoping it would bring Ethan and me closer again. We hadn't been us for a long time. Lately he'd been quiet, too quiet. Even when he smiled, it never reached his eyes anymore. But tonight, I told myself, would be different. I'd planned everything, his favorite food, his favorite people, and a few jokes to lighten the mood. I just wanted him to look at me again the way he used to, like I was the only person in the room. As guests arrived, I slipped easily into my usual role, the cheerful, talkative host. I laughed louder than I felt, made everyone comfortable, and stole glances at Ethan. He was polite, attentive but distant, laughing at others' jokes but not mine. It hurt, but I ignored it. When someone brought up old college stories, I made the joke, the one that would change everything. "Oh God," I said, chuckling. "Ethan used to get so jealous of this guy I once talked to. What was his name? Ben? Or maybe he should have been jealous." The room laughed. For a second, I did too. But then silence. Ethan's expression didn't change, but something behind his eyes dimmed. He set his glass down slowly, his fingers trembling just enough for me to notice. The laughter around me faded into an uncomfortable quiet. I tried to play it off, giggling nervously. "Come on, it's a joke," I said softly, touching his arm. He looked at me then, not angry, not cold, just tired. That's what broke me. Without saying a word, he pushed his chair back, stood up, and walked out. The sound of the door closing was louder than anything I'd ever heard. Everyone stared at me. Someone mumbled something about needing air, and the conversation awkwardly restarted, but I couldn't hear any of it. My heart was racing, my hands trembling. It wasn't supposed to go like that. I just wanted him to smile. When the last guest left, I sat on the couch surrounded by half-finished drinks and laughter that no longer belonged to me. The house smelled like wine and roasted chicken, but all I could feel was emptiness. I kept replaying the moment in my head, the words, the look on his face, the silence that followed. It wasn't the joke. It was what it meant. He'd trusted me with his heart, and I'd used it as material for a laugh. Ethan didn't come home that night. His absence sat beside me on the couch, heavy and suffocating. I scrolled through our old photos, vacations, birthdays, quiet nights where we used to just talk about nothing. Back then, laughter brought us closer. Tonight, it tore us apart. The next morning, I heard the front door open. He walked in, still in yesterday's clothes, eyes red but calm. I started, but he raised a hand gently. "I know you didn't," he said quietly. "That's the problem. You didn't mean to hurt me, but you didn't think about me either." Those words sank deep, deeper than any argument ever could. He walked past me to the bedroom, not slamming doors, not shouting. Just silence, the kind that screams louder than anger. I sat there for a long time, thinking about how love doesn't die from big betrayals. It dies from small moments when one person stops paying attention. I realized that sometimes what we call jokes are just disguised confessions. Tiny truths that slip out when we stop being careful. And when the person you love walks away, it's not always because they stopped loving you. Sometimes, it's because they stopped recognizing the person you've become. If you love someone, never use their pain for a laugh. A careless word, a thoughtless moment. That's all it takes to turn us into was. Think before you speak, because you never know which sentence might be the last one they'll stay to hear.